All right, awesome. So we're doing 6.5 and 6.6 today, and then you'll have your review and then test the next class. So outcome 7, I can calculate the number of combinations of options offered when building a new home. When building a home, you can buy a house that has already been built, or you can work with the home builder to design a new home that they will build. Builders often give home built buyers several options to choose from for features such as flooring, paint colors, countertops, etc. Don't you think it'd be fun to like make your own home? I think I honestly, like, it is more expensive nowadays than purchasing, but not by much, because realty is up so much. But, yeah, it is more difficult because there's so many options for various features in a home. There are numerous combinations that home buyers have to consider. To determine the total number of combinations, you can use the combination formula NCR. Okay, the only thing you really need to know is that it's N choose R. That's what it represents. N is going to be the total number of options, and then R is going to be what you're trying to choose. So N is your total, and then R is your options, like you're trying to pick out of. N choose R. Eric. N choose R. So, first example, Leah and Josh are building a new home. They are presented with 15 options for the paint colors in their home. They must choose 2 colors, one main color and one accent color. How many different combinations of 2 colors can be chosen for the 15 options? So how many options are there total? 15. So is that N or R? N is 15, and R is what? 2. Because I'm choosing 2 total overall colors, and it wants to know, out of those 15 options of 2 choices, how many options are there total for me to pick out of?
2.
Right, so we use our combination formula, N choose R. So N is 15, choose R is what? 2. Equals. Bless you. Okay, I'm going to show you how to plug this in the graphing calculator. Trace is cool. This is cool. Won't let me do it. Here we go. Thank you. I know, it's fine. Don't mind. Okay, so you're going to plug in your 15. Everybody got their graphing calculator? We're all ready? We're plugging in our 15. You need a graphing calculator for this one. So, like I said earlier, so then you'll hit math. Right to prob. So probability. That's why, because I'm trying to find the probability of something. And then N choose R is right here. C represents combination. So it's an N choose R. So we'll hit number 3. Is everybody with me? Hit number 3. And then follow that up with what? 2. Yours might not do this. It might say 15 NCR, and then you'll put 2 after. Does that make sense? So it might say 15 NCR, and then you'll put 2 after, and click enter. How many options are there? 105 different combinations of putting those 15 paint colors together on 2 separate walls. That's a lot. So 105. Do you need me to show you one more time? Okay, so you'll go 15. And then you'll type in your math. Right to probability. Hit your NCR, which is 3. And then 2. And click enter. There's your 105. Okay. All right. Looking at the next question, it then states, the other homes in Leah and Josh's neighborhood from example 1 were given the same paint colors options. What is the probability that another home in the neighborhood has the same color options? For instance, what's the probability if somebody lived next to me and I pick out of 105 options, I pick one of them, what's the probability that they're going to have the exact same thing that I picked? Yeah, 1 out of 105. There's 105 different options, but there's only one time that, or the 1% of that it can work. What is that as a percent? What's 1 divided by 105? 0.009?
Yeah.
So about 1%. There's about a 1% chance that we're going to have the same paint options given the same 15 different options in 2 walls. Okay. Josh and Leah are given 3 options for types of kitchen countertops. They have granite, stainless steel, or laminate. They are given 5 options for paint colors for the kitchen cabinets. In how many ways can one countertop option and 2 paint colors be chosen to decorate the kitchen? So we're talking about 2 different things. What 2 different things are we talking about? Yeah, we have countertops. And then we have paint. So we have 2 combinations. What is the overall number of options for countertops? How many? 3 total options I have. And how many do I get to pick? 1. Everybody see that? What is the overall option for paint? 5 options. And how many do I get to pick? 2. So what will my combination formula look like for countertops? So 3C what? 1. And then what will my combination look like for paint? 5C2. So let's go ahead and plug that into our calculator. You can't do 8, it won't work because they're different options. Yeah. Ooh, maybe. It almost always doesn't work. But every now and then you get lucky. So 3, math, probability, 3, 1. 3. We get 3? Okay. And then we have 5, math, probability, 3, 2. We're good? And you got 10. Now, here's the thing. If it ever says and, that means to multiply. If it says or, that means you add. So we're going to multiply my 3 and my 10 together. So how many options? They have 30 total options. Can you remind me again? And means to do what? Multiply. Or means to add. And I think today it's only multiply. I think it's only and. So pay attention to that. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over. If it'll let me here. To 6.6 real quick. Combinations is pretty basic. You just look for the total options and then what you're looking for. So we're flipping over to 6.6. Make sure you flip over to that page next. We're going to actually we're going to plug this in by hand. I know that there's a little calculator thing, but you don't get your phone for your test day. You just get a calculator. So I'm going to teach you how to do it with just your by hand. All right. As the value of the US dollar changes, the cost of items also changes. This is called inflation, which we know that, right? So as when somebody's like, let's raise minimum wage, what happens to everything else? It goes up. So like the cost of milk, the cost of bread, the cost of gas, everything goes up. That's inflation. Because inflation happens, the cost of an item, including a house, also does change. We calculate the average annual rate of inflation of home values from P1 to P2 over a period of n years using the formula. Okay, so we're actually going to use this formula. This formula tells me inflation. All right. P1 represents like the price of something before inflation, and P2 represents it, or the price after. So, example 1. When Elizabeth bought her home in 1972, it cost $23,600. She sold the home in 1987 for $96,800. Calculate the rate of inflation of the value of her home. What was the price, the initial price of her home? So would that be P1, P2, R, or N? P1. It's the very initial price. Price 1 is $23,600. Okay. What would P2 be? What's the second price of the home? $96,800. R is representing inflation. So in that formula, I have P1, I have P2, but I'm missing what letter? N. Can anybody tell me what would N be? Nope. N represents the number of years between being bought. So N is number of years. If you want to put that on this side. It is 15 years apart. That's correct. Because she bought it in 1972 and then she sold it in 1987. 15 total years. So all you're going to do to find inflation is you're going to plug those things into your formula. R is equal to, parenthesis. Look at your formula, what goes on top of the fraction. P2, so 96,800, divided by what goes on the bottom. Yep, 23,600. To the power of 1 divided by what? What's in? And then you're going to have to arrow right and subtract 1 at the end. Yes, it is. Not advanced. It's just algebra 2, yeah. I think this is advanced.
Yeah, it's too hard.
All right, so here we go. Parenthesis. 96,800 divided by 23,600. Close it. Carry it up. Hopefully you're doing it with me, so that way you're confident when it's your turn. Parenthesis, 1 divided by 15. Close it. Arrow right. And then minus 1. Okay, remember inflation is a percent. So 0.0987. I'm going to say it's 987 because that 6 is going to round up to 7. To change this to a percent, you have to move your decimal where? 2 to the right. So what's actually the percent of the inflation? Yeah, 9.9 or 9.87%. It's up to you on that, but about 9.87%. So the inflation is increasing almost 10% per year. That's kind of rough. Well, think about it. She bought her house for 23 grand and now it's 96. I bought my home for the exact same price as what my parents sold their home in 2001. And it's the exact same house.
You bought their home?
I bought their home. Yeah.
Is that where you were like, is that where you grew up at though?
Yeah, that's where I grew up. But I bought the house for the same price as what they sold it in 2001. They don't own it anymore. They don't own it anymore. Yeah, it was somebody else. Which is interesting.
You scam them?
Probably. Because when I got it appraised, I got it like $25,000 under what the appraisal was for. But we'd already signed a contract, so he couldn't change it.
So they got
I mean,
no,
all I said was,
they
this is what I'm willing to pay. And then he was like, okay, I'll sell it to you. It was great. Sometimes you just got to be a good negotiator.
No, that's a scammer.
Well, call it what it is. All right, example 2. Gina bought her home in 2006. It cost $226,500. She sold the home in 2017 for $294,000. Calculate the rate of inflation of the value of her home. Okay, first, is it going up a lot? Like, I just want you to notice that. Not a ton, but is it at least going up? Yes. Okay.